On January 4, 2010, the last Pontiac vehicle ever built rolled off the assembly line at the Orion Township plant in Michigan. It was a white G6 sedan destined for fleet duty. There was no farewell ceremony, there was no commemorative plaque. The workers who built it had been told their plant would be retooled for a different vehicle. The Pontiac brand had existed for 83 years. It had introduced the GTO, defined the American muscle car era, and produced the Firebird and Trans Am that became symbols of American performance for an entire generation. General Motors killed it with a single announcement on April 27, 2009, as a condition of accepting $53 billion in federal bailout money. This video documents how General Motors killed the Firebird, why the company then killed the entire Pontiac brand, and what the American buyers who love these vehicles lost forever. Stay with this video because the reason General Motors killed Pontiac is not the reason most Americans believe, and the consequences of that decision are still affecting the buyers who want a real American muscle car today. The Pontiac Firebird was introduced on February 23, 1967, 5 months after the Chevrolet Camaro. Both vehicles were built on General Motors' F-body platform. Both were designed as direct competitors to the Ford Mustang, which had launched the pony car category in 1964. The Firebird and the Camaro shared their underpinnings, but Pontiac gave the Firebird a distinct identity with integrated front bumpers, GTO-derived split grille styling, and rear slit taillights inspired by the Pontiac GTO and Grand Prix. The first generation Firebird ran from 1967 through 1969 and sold more than 250,000 units. Engine options ranged from a 230 cubic inch inline six producing 165 horsepower in the base Sprint model to a 400 cubic inch V8 producing 345 horsepower in the Ram Air 4 configuration. The Trans Am variant was introduced in 1969 as an optional performance and appearance package. Only 697 Trans Ams were built that first year. The Trans Am name came from the Sports Car Club of America's Trans-American Racing Series, and General Motors agreed to pay the SCCA $5 for every Trans Am sold to license the name. The first Trans Ams featured a 400 cubic inch V8 with Ram air induction, functional hood scoops, a distinctive white and blue paint scheme with twin stripes, and a rear spoiler. The car was rare, expensive, and immediately became the most desirable Firebird configuration. Hold on, because the part of this story that matters most is not what the Firebird was at launch. It is what the Trans Am became in American culture, and what that cultural significance cost when General Motors killed it. The second generation Firebird arrived for the 1970 model year and ran for 12 consecutive years through 1981. This generation introduced the aggressive long hood, short deck styling that defined the Firebird visual identity for the remainder of its production run. The shaker hood scoop was introduced. The screaming chicken decal, the gold and black Phoenix that became synonymous with the Trans Am, was offered starting in 1973 as a $55 option. The 455 cubic inch V8, available from 1971 through 1976, was the last true big block American muscle car engine before emissions regulations forced manufacturers to abandon high displacement power. Then came Smokey and the Bandit. The 1977 film starring Burt Reynolds featured a 1977 Pontiac Trans Am with Y82 Special Edition trim, the black and gold paint scheme that became permanently embedded in American cultural memory. The film grossed over $300 million on a $4.3 million budget. It was the second highest grossing film of 1977, behind only Star Wars. Trans Am sales exploded. In 1978, Pontiac sold 93,341 Trans Ams. In 1979, that number reached 117,108. the Trans Am became the dominant performance vehicle of the late 1970s, outselling the Corvette in multiple model years. For most Americans who were adults in the late 1970s and early 1980s, the Trans Am was the American muscle car. The third generation Firebird, introduced for 1982, completed the transformation. The new model was lighter, more aerodynamic, and used the General Motors F-body platform shared with the redesigned Chevrolet Camaro. Pop-up headlights replaced the previous quad headlamp design. A modified third-generation Trans Am played the role of Kitty T in the television series Knight Rider, which ran from 1982 through 1986 and was watched by tens of millions of Americans weekly. The Trans Am's cultural significance peaked during this era. 2 films, 1 television series, and a decade of dominance in American performance car culture had embedded the Firebird into the national consciousness. Now pay attention, because this is where General Motors started making the decisions that would eventually kill not just the Firebird, but the entire Pontiac brand. The 4th generation Firebird, introduced for the 1993 model year, was the technological peak of the platform. Production moved from the General Motors plant in Van Nuys, California, to the St. Therese plant in Quebec, Canada. The new Firebird featured composite body panels resistant to corrosion, dual airbags as standard equipment, 4-wheel anti-lock brakes, rack and pinion steering, and short long arm front suspension. The Trans Am received the 5.7-liter LT1 V8 engine, the same engine used in the contemporary Corvette, producing 275 horsepower. From 1998 through 2002, the LT1 was replaced with the 5.7-liter LS1 V8, also shared with the Corvette, producing 305 horsepower in standard form and up to 325 horsepower with the WS6 Ram Air Performance and Handling package. The final 2002 Trans Am WS6 covered the quarter mile in 13.16 seconds. It was, mechanically, the most capable Firebird ever produced. General Motors discontinued the Firebird and the Camaro simultaneously after the 2002 model year. The official reason was declining sales. The unofficial reason was that General Motors' F-body platform was outdated, and the company had decided not to invest in developing a replacement. The St. Therese assembly plant was scheduled for closure. The Firebird, having sold continuously for 35 years, was retired without a successor. The Camaro would eventually return in 2010 as a completely different vehicle on a different platform. The Firebird never came back. But this is not even the most significant detail, because there is one decision General Motors made in 2009 that ensured the Firebird would never return, regardless of market demand. On April 27, 2009, General Motors announced that the entire Pontiac brand would be discontinued. The announcement came as part of General Motors' restructuring plan in response to the 2008 financial crisis. General Motors had requested $53 billion in federal bailout funding to avoid liquidation. As a condition of receiving that funding, the federal government required General Motors to reduce the number of brands it operated. General Motors had 8 North American brands at the time: Chevrolet, Pontiac, Buick, Cadillac, GMC, Saturn, Hummer, and Saab. The company was ordered to focus on 4 core brands. General Motors chose to keep Chevrolet, Buick, Cadillac, and GMC. Pontiac, Saturn, Hummer, and Saab were eliminated. The reasoning behind keeping Buick instead of Pontiac is documented in General Motors' internal communications. Buick was profitable. Buick was also enormously successful in the Chinese market, where it remains one of the most popular foreign brands. Killing Buick in the United States would have damaged the brand's standing in China. Pontiac was unprofitable. The brand had been selling rebadged Chevrolet vehicles at lower prices than Chevrolet itself, undercutting General Motors' flagship brand. Pontiac was both losing money for itself and damaging Chevrolet's pricing structure. The decision to keep Buick and kill Pontiac was a financial decision driven by the Chinese market, not by the American buyers who had purchased Pontiacs for 83 years. The last Pontiac, a white 2010 G6 sedan, was built on January 4, 2010 at the Orion Township assembly plant. Pontiac franchise agreements expired on October 31, 2010. The dealerships that had sold Firebirds, GTOS, and Trans Ams for decades were converted to Chevrolet, Buick, or GMC outlets, or closed entirely. Approximately 2,000 Pontiac dealers, about one-third of General Motors' total dealer network, were forced to close as part of the brand's elimination. The market spoke clearly about what was lost. Fourth-generation Trans Am WS6 models from 1998 through 2002, the highest performance Firebirds ever produced, have appreciated significantly over the past decade. A well-maintained 2002 Trans Am WS6 with low mileage, complete service history, and the LS1 V8 now sells between $35,000 and $75,000 depending on condition. A 1978 or 1979 Trans Am with the Y82 Special Edition Smoky and the Bandit package sells between $40,000 and $140,000 depending on documentation and originality. The first generation 1969 Trans Am, with only 697 examples produced, regularly sells for over $100,000 when offered at auction. The buyers acquiring these vehicles are American collectors who recognize what was lost when General Motors killed the Firebird and then killed the entire Pontiac brand. They are not paying speculative prices. They are paying current market prices for vehicles that represent the last generation of American performance cars built by a brand specifically dedicated to American performance. No current General Motors brand produces a vehicle with the cultural significance the Trans Am carried. The Chevrolet Camaro returned for 2010, but was discontinued again after 2024. The Corvette continues to evolve into something more European than American. Cadillac has shifted toward luxury sedans and sport utility vehicles. No General Motors brand has filled the niche the Firebird occupied for 35 years. General Motors did not just kill a vehicle, they killed the brand that produced it, ensuring that the Firebird could never return under its original name. They killed the dealer network that sold these vehicles, ensuring that the institutional knowledge of how to sell American performance cars would be lost. They killed the engineering culture that had produced the Firebird, the GTO, and the Trans Am by absorbing the remaining Pontiac engineers into Chevrolet and Cadillac divisions where their expertise was diluted across different vehicle priorities. The decision was financial. The consequences were cultural. The buyers who wanted a real American muscle car with the cultural weight of the Trans Am now have only one option remaining. They have to buy a used Firebird from the 1990s or the early 2000s, or pay collector prices for original muscle cars from the 1960s and 1970s. The supply is fixed. The brand is gone. Before the next video, one question. What was your Pontiac? Was it a Firebird, a Trans Am, a GTO, or a Grand Prix? What year, what engine, what color? Leave it in the comments below.